in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Craig Lewis, and I hope you're having a great Sunday. So the idea came to me the other day that I needed to do more videos where I'm speaking directly to, the poetry community, and decided to come with this weekly video on a Sunday, which will be called Poetry in Motion Sunday, and I'll be reading 2 poems of my own. So here is the first, and I hope you enjoy. It's called Poet versus Writer's Block. This writer's block has tried to stop my pen flow. Challenge accepted like an OAP performing the limbo. Ideas revving like engines on NASCARs. Embedding my rhymes on timber like hand scars, then sign my name for credit. The ability I obtain like sweetness in jam jars can tempt the sweet tooth of a diabetic. Visuals like paramedics rushing to the aid. Rushing like the adrenaline of a student that took something at a rave. To oppose my will to write is like an invite to the grave, which I perceive a threat. The determination to win this challenge is like clearing a debt. Hence, the more I write, my opposition appears upset. Like the wife of a man who gambled away a week's rent on a bet. For this effect, I am keen. To see my pen rise like the lids of the eyes of a loved one on a life support machine. As I recall this scene of plight, it's common for writers alike. I see writer's block like Eve did that snake, and you can die from a bite. A myriad of poems I maintain for viewers to either read or receive when I'm live on the mic. Like stand-ups, entertaining. Solving the puzzle to this writer's block like it's a wild animal that I'm taming. With the enthusiasm of a juvenile gaming online. I park the pen for a minute to stand and rotate my spine, a routine of mine. Sitting at the desk for hours is no good for the old back. Sometimes I rest the ink and write these poems on my Mac. When the muse has not arrived, this writer's block has a crack at making me take an L. But like the taxman, the words of my vocabulary never fail to partake in their duties. A term which an avid writer may never use loosely, like the word love. Writer's block doesn't like to stop. Its will is to kill your pen flow and write murder on the mirror above, smeared in blood with catwords, but backwards, which reads red rum. My first book was titled I'm a Graduate and Then Some, which means one has a degree in outdoing pressure and tension. Taking on this writer's block as if my pen was a sword, I'm fencing. But one is calm, my fist never clench when its grotesque feature appears. I flee from the fear, like that mouse did that cat in that cartoon Tom and Jerry, as I jog my memory back. Any poem that I write was never meant to be scrapped, hence I break often to exercise and strengthen my back. And refer to the war with this writer's block that I was called to have out. 466 words in, and it was then that it chose to tap out. So yeah, that one's poet versus writer's block. And what inspired that poem was I thought it would be great to have highlight a writer when he goes through the process of trying to find those ideas. And writer's block's really trying to limit you to create something good. So I thought, yes, I accept the challenge. Like an OAP doing the limbo. So that was the line that opened the poem, and the rest just came. And yeah, that was a process. So the next one I'm going to read is called Her Mind's at Ease. And this is more of a story about a woman that's finding the strength to move on from a bad relationship. The guy was basically a jerk, and she's found the strength to stand up. So yeah. Her drinking days are over, like the finale of a season. Her past she gave its marching orders, and now it's leaving. Old friends are demoted to high and by when she sees them. She forsakes the former robot she was that lived to please them. Her mind she has found like treasures buried in the sand, reclaims all her powers she's ever given to a man. To herself she's made this oath, and she's sticking with the plan. Like the rhythm of a jam, she moves harmoniously. She's found her inner peace and stands alone like a tree. Her ex is seeking forgiveness and is known to plea. He sees a glint of hope because he's still holding the key. So he plots, oblivious to the fact she's changed the locks of the door to her heart. That he once entered as he pleased. He tampered with her mental health like some sort of disease. She's forsaken the former robot she was that lived to please. Back then she couldn't see the forest through the trees. As if the love did dim the light, she's glad she's been that life like it was to breathe. Now free as the piano keys, with her mind at ease. And that was it. So that's short and sweet. Until next week.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.